Hi there, tarot lovers. Our card of the day is the reverse Seven of Wands. So, the Seven of Wands is a guy who's standing on a hillside, holding onto his wand, and in a way, he looks in a kind of a conflicting, challenging type dynamic where he's holding onto his wand in a kind of a fighting stance, where the other ones who we don't see who are holding them are below him on lower ground, and he's kind of defending his position in a way, or at least it looks like he's defending his position. And this is a card which it comes up in our lives when there isn't a natural challenge in the air, and there's a challenge to see whether we are strong enough to hold on to our truth. And the wand represents a level of our truth. It's a spiritual truth, so it's going to be how willing we are and how able we are to stay connected to our hearts, to our purpose, to what we feel is a higher meaning in our lives and a deeper truth and a deeper sense of self. It's this fiery, passionate, uplifting nature of ourselves where we are living an inspirational life. And the moment we connect with it, we naturally find ourselves on this higher ground. And so just holding on to our wand with two hands will put us on a higher inspirational point of view and perspective and place or level of consciousness. And then we might find that the other level of consciousness we were in before, or what might be the norm of our consciousness, is a little bit below us. And then you will find other people, we'll find a part of ourselves as well as other people maybe wanting for us to come back down where it's safer, where everybody else is, where we fit in. And it might be scary to be up there on our own, or to be seen as different, or to see ourselves as, hey, we're standing alone here. There's nobody who's with me in this space. Wow, I don't know if I'm comfortable being here. And so we're challenged. The challenge comes of being seen, of whether we're standing up for our truth, whether we can stand up to the truth of holding on to our heart connection, of being more sincere, of feeling our purpose and feeling safe within that purpose, or whether we are going to conform to what might be a more common way of thinking and way of belief, and to try to fit in more conveniently in the world around us, which feels safer. Now, in life, we need to do a little bit of both, of course, and there's another aspect of this card when it's reversed like this, is when the ego can kind of grab that wand and go, ooh, look at me, look at how clever and high I am. And as soon as our ego grabs that high ground perspective, it can look down on the world and say, hey, look, I'm better than you, I'm going to make sure that I stay above you all. And this is just an ego that is trying to create more separation in life, instead of what the wand really wants is to raise up and lift up life and help us feel more connected to all of the world, right? And to the light itself inside of the world and inside of all beings. That's the real purpose of the wand itself. And yet when we grab it with the ego, it's going to make us feel more different and separate. So watch out for those kind of egotistical feelings of superiority, and with these feelings we'll very obviously see the conflict that will come up in our lives. But this is really an internal conflict, if ever there was one. These are old programs. The six wands below us will represent an old version of ourselves, or an old version of our creativity, where we come from, where what we are born to, that maybe we are trying to individuate out of, or we're trying to break free from old patterns and old paradigms that don't seem to fit in with the new version or the new perspective of who we are. And in order to break free from these old paradigms, we need to be able to have a little bit of courage and to stand strong on that hill. And it's going to be a challenge, because there's going to be a trauma about being alone. There's going to be a trauma about being different. There's going to be trauma about being seen. All of these stories are going to come up, and they're all going to reflect what is the biggest message of this card, is different aspects of self-doubt. So when we doubt ourselves, it's very difficult to stand in our strength. When we doubt ourselves, we lose connection to our heart, we lose connection to our purpose, we lose connection to meaning, and our life can easily become a little bit chaotic and all over the place. And standing firm to our truth will be a challenge for us, because of these old programs and how in the past they have helped us feel safe, even though right now we are more ready to feel safe, but in a way where we need to be seen as different for a while. Not that this difference makes us special, and not that this difference is something that needs to last forever, but when we break out of old patterns, there is a time when we are going to feel a little bit alone in our difference from the people that might be surrounding us, before we are grounded enough in that alternative perspective of reality to attract into our lives like-minded people that can actually mirror a different level of awareness that we have truly adopted and allowed to feel empowered by in our lives. So self-doubt issues are going to be in this card, and if you have a look at this card, this is a card where he's wearing one boot and one shoe. So this guy's a little bit quirky, through and through, but he doesn't mind. We can stand on this hill, we can laugh at ourselves, we can laugh at how different we are. We don't have to be the same as everybody else. We don't have to try to conform to life, and this fear of non-conformity is going to come up. So if it does come up, stand strong, be brave, and understand that this feeling maybe of being alone or being in conflict with the life on the outside is really an inner conflict with these old programs on the inside. And once we come to terms with that, we can maybe let go of these programs. We don't have to fight. We don't have to try and convince the world that we are okay where we are. We just need to convince ourselves. And once we're convinced ourselves about who we are, about where we're standing in our lives, then we feel safe again. And in that moment of feel safe, there is no conflict. And then we can stand with our wand in both hands and feeling safe and sound where we are. All the best. I hope you have a wonderful day. Like, comment, and subscribe, and all those things. Love to you all.